So in class, one of the issues that we had was actually getting, I guess it was VirtualBox, not VirtualBox itself, but damn vulnerable web applications up and running. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to set up Kali. And then after setting up Kali, we are going to have things set up so you can actually use the environment for actually doing attacks and stuff like that. And so one of the first things, of course, bring up your virtual box. And I'm going to share my screen so you'll see the entire screen. So you'll see here, it's my desktop. And so you'll bring up your VirtualBox manager. And if you have VMware players, no big deal, but you will bring this up. And so once you have this up, you will go to new. Here, I'm just going to do Kali. So I'm going to put Kali in here. Go to next. I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to do next again. It's going to be a VDI. This is pretty much all the default. I'm just going to add that to 15. I'm going to do create. And I'm using, this is the XFCE. So I have XFCE here. So I'm just going to look here, and XFCE is right here. I'm going to do start. I'm just going to change this to scaled mode. And then I'm going to go down and use the graphical install. So here it's, you can choose all your preferences, language, where you got keyboard to use. And the reason I chose XFCE, because again, it's the lightweight distribution, lightweight version of Kali. And so that's why I'm using XFCE. You could use the full GNOME version or anything else, like it should be a Kali Mate. Feel free to use those, choose whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm just leaving the default, same with the domain. Choosing a root password. The clock. Again, these are not big ordeals. So I use entire disk. It's already, a lot of this stuff is already there. So here, just showing me the partition disk. Again, they're gigs. I think I created about like 15 or 17 gigs, So I do want to write the changes. So it does take a time sometimes. So if it gets stuck on a particular like this process and install, don't worry. As long as it's still moving, things should be okay. So we'll just let this run. And once it's finished running, we'll go through and I'll talk about more of this particular environment and stuff like that. Well, more of setting up this environment. We'll just let all this run. All right, so you can see now that it's pretty much gone through fairly, I guess, decently. Now I'm just going to configure the rest of this install. And now it's just configuring the package manager. Then once this is done and we reset it, we will set up damn vulnerable web apps. And then we'll go through the different ways that it can be set up in this environment. All right, so we're going to install the Grub bootloader. All right, so now you see the installation is complete. It says, so it's okay to remove anything. There's nothing to remove. It's all a VM. It's all a virtual instance. All right, so while this is finishing the install, we're going to go ahead and create another VM real quick. And so I'm going to go new, DVWA, Linux. I believe it's 32-bit. Hit next. Just going to add a little bit more. Go to next. I'm going to create the virtual hard disk. Go to next. And I believe this needs to be at least 8. So let's leave it right there. I'm going to do create. Here I'm just going to go to settings. I'm going to go to network. This is going to be bridged. And this right here, this WLP3S0, this is the actual name of my network. So later, another setup, we can change it to be a little different. But we are going to do, we have that. I believe we are storage. So here I'm going to install the media. I'm going to choose the virtual optical disk. And it's going to be this ISO image, this DVWA, this damn vulnerable web apps. I'm going to install that. Go ahead, OK. I'll let that run. And so now I'm going to do start. Again, I'm going to put this in scale mode. I'm going to log in here. So I'm logging into that VirtualBox image. And for this, I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to do a live system. And I'm going to say use default. This is for the Oracle VirtualBox. This is it right here. I'm going to bring up the web browser. So let the web browser come up here. Capture, of course. I'm going to type in ifconfig. And it's going to give me an IP address. And so here's the address here. So it's the 192.168.1.105. So I'm going to take this address. I'm going to go to this machine. And I'm going to type 192.168.1.105. We hit enter. And here I am, damn vulnerable web apps. So now I actually can access the application. So you can see DV damn vulnerable application running here in this server, which is of course Ubuntu. And then I'm actually able to access it from here. So I'm just going to type in, I think it's admin, and it should be password. I'm not going to remember. And then once I'm here, I can go here and make any types of adjustments. I'm logged in as admin, SQL injection. There's all types of items that can be done. But if I go to setup, I can do create reset. So it shows here, database has been created, users created, user table, guest book. Go to security, and I can change it from low, medium, high, click submit. It's changed. So here I can enable the IDS. I can simulate the attack. I can view IDS log. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here. But again, for you, the database items, it's really this SQL injection. That's the database item, especially for this class. All right, so the other item, the other way to do it is we have Kali here. Go here. So file, preferences, go to network. So I'm going to remove these. So remove that one. All right, so I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to create a new one. Call it NAT network, right? So I'm going to hit OK. So now this one's going to have that NAT network. So this one's going to be there. So if I go to DVWA, go to settings, go to network, I can change to the NAT network. That network I have is created. Allow VMs. I hit OK. They'll save those changes. I'll go here. I'll do settings. I'll go to network. And then I'll go to NAT network. And then allow VMs. Hit OK. And now that should be, that's there. The other cool thing is I could throw these other VMs on this network. So I can say elementary Linux. I can go to network. I can do NAT network. That's the name of it. Yeah, allow VMs, hit OK. And then I can start this. So I'm going to start this VM. All right, so we're letting elementary come up here. All right, so I already have this VM with the user an account set up. So I'm just going to type in my password. And for those that are watching on the screen and counting, the password is password. So nothing unique. It's just a demonstration virtual machine. All right, so I'm going to bring up the web browser. So I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to type in this IP that's here that I have. So 102. Typing IP. All right, so I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm just going to make sure my settings are right. So settings, network, not network, a lot of VMs. And then elementary should be right here. And let's try this. All right, so we're going to try this really quick. So let me bring back up my elementary. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to power this off real quick. Same with this. Bring it back up. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to bring up elementary up. So we'll see if it actually works with this method as well. All right, so there's a different internet address here. Going to put in password, which again is password. If you're using any of the labs for class, labs I created, images, a lot of the passwords are just passwords, and then you can change it yourself. All right, so I'm going to bring up the web browser here. I'm going to type in this IP address. 10, okay. Should be able to memorize that. And it works. So yeah, so I just had to restart it, but it works. And so that is how you can have your environment set up. And then I guess in the class, what we'll do is we'll actually go through using some of the various tools and stuff like that against the actual system. Now, what's interesting is if you wanted to, you could always try pinging. So I'm just going to take this IP address. And I'm just going to go to my downloads and ping. So ping result.txt. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just pinging this IP. So this is the IP here for this machine. I'm just pinging this. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to look in this folder, and I'm going to concatenate this item, and you can see that it works. So the other thing is you can always ping this particular IP. So if you have an IP, you can ping it through the other system if you can reach it, and if you can do it, more like you'll be able to have it resolved in the browser. All right, well, that is it for today's lesson. I really hope that helps clear or clarify any of the issues that may have had setting up damn vulnerable web apps and stuff like that.